Today in my Roadpro 12-volt portable stove, I'm cooking some beef with pasta and veggies and Alfredo sauce. And I don't always use recipes, so I started cooking this an hour ago. And so I put a little bit of liquid on the bottom, and I had olive oil and I had beef chunks, and then I peppered it. I also accidentally slipped and ended up with about 2 to 3 tablespoons of pepper because I used the wrong side, but I got most of it off, and I love pepper anyway. So here I have my dehydrated sweet peppers and mushrooms that I dehydrate myself. I'm going to add some garlic here. Let's see. So I think I need some spice. I probably have about 1/3 cup of dehydrated mushrooms and 1/3 cup of sweet peppers, and I hydrated them with some water. I don't know how much that was. Let's guess it was about 3/4 cup. Looking good so far. I think I'm going to add a little bit more water. I might have done too much, I'm not sure. Let's see how much. That was probably around 1/2 cup. So let's add some pasta and see how that goes. Now I don't usually measure, so that one I measured so I can see. Let me put the camera down a minute. I added about another 1/2 cup of pasta in. That's probably too much. We'll see. I took out a little bit, maybe 1/4 cup. And now we're gonna add some of this ragu classic Alfredo with real cheese, and it's a 16-ounce bottle, and I'm sure I won't use it all. Let's see how much. Let's pour some in to the top. Looking good so far. I probably used about 1/2 of the bottle, so I probably used 1 cup of Alfredo sauce. I sprinkled some chives over the top. So let's let it cook for a while and we'll check on it later. It's just under 2 hours and it is done. And I stirred it up so that, because it's drier, because it's cooking from the bottom, so that it would soak up into the pasta. See it boiling away? I added some peas because I didn't want to heat them up separately. Here it is, stirred up with some of the meat and veggies from the bottom. Let's do a bonus here while I'm waiting for that to cook. I have taken just slightly over 1 cup, maybe 1.25 cups of pasta and put it in this jar. And we're going to do a jar meal for next time I want to make this. Since I want to take different steps at different times, I'm going to separate the dehydrated vegetables. I have my home dehydrated mushrooms there. I have 1/3 cup, and I'm going to use 1/3 cup of the sweet peppers also, and I'm going to put them in this bag. Okay, I have the dehydrated vegetables that will be hydrated when they're used before it's time to add in the pasta. That's why I needed to separate them. And now I can add the spices of the pepper and the other spices in, because I like a lot of pepper. You might want to use less. And I'm using a teaspoon, where are we at? I'm using a teaspoon of my blend mix, Harvest Blend seasoning, and it has these ingredients. And I forgot to mention that if I can get away with it, I don't add salt to anything, because usually there's already enough salt in something. For example, the Alfredo sauce probably does have some in it. I really try to restrict my salt, so you might want to add a half a teaspoon if you like a lot of salt. I just poured some chives in there, maybe a half a teaspoon. And if you have fresh or else spring onions or something, you might want to do that. I love the green color that comes out with it, and the red from the bell peppers, the sweet peppers. When I cook it, I like it to be colorful. You know, I cook things according to how I feel at the time and the ingredients I have. You could also put in some red chili flakes if you wanted. So we have now made this jar meal, and when I cook it, I need garlic and water and Alfredo sauce and meat and olive oil. I think that's it. We'll see. So there you are, one jar meal that needs a label with instructions.